Hello everybody out there on YouTube, this is your man Shadicstick and I'm back on the mic spitting some hot Faraga. This time we're talking about, Final Fantasy 15, and you're gonna be like, Shadic, you haven't done a Final Fantasy 15 video in a while. Well, yeah, I know, and I decided, hey, it's about time I do one, because I haven't done a Final Fantasy video, period, in a while. And I would like to do one on 15 specifically, since it's coming up, it's November, and it comes out at the end of the month, and I'm gonna be streaming it like, my boy saucing on some Raris. But on the real though, I'm really hyped for the game, and I hope this, continues the hype for the game. But anyways, let's get right into that young video.
Whipping all this dope up in the trap house. We fuck all you bitches at the trap house. I can't trust you, I can't give you real address. I can't trust you, I can't give you real address. It don't mean that be like Jerry Stacker. I might fall in love with my trap house.
Alright guys, so this is your boy Shadic back on the mic. We have 3 reasons why Final Fantasy 15 will get hate. And this isn't a negative video. Before we go deeper into the video, this isn't negative, so don't get triggered at the fact that I say people are gonna hate the game for this and this reason. These are valid, legitimate reasons that I have. Now I'm gonna start from the weakest point to the strongest point I have, and I really do believe this is all gonna tie into why the game will receive unnecessary criticism. Because I want to say this, there is criticism that is legitimate, and there's criticism that is not really pertaining to anything to do with the actual game itself. So first off, we're gonna start with spoilers. All right, this game has been spoiled the heck out of. We basically know a lot about the story, and it's not like they just told us, oh, this character, they gave us a bioanalysis of this character, they just told us a few places in the games. No, they have given us complete story elements, telling us where each character is going to be in the game at what time, things we've seen in the game, where it is in the game exactly. We've seen like different cutscenes from different portions of the game, whether they be at the end, of the beginning, or the middle. On top of that, we've just received a lot of story elements regarding like things directly tying in the story specifically of the game rather than lore. And this is mostly coming from news. This news gets released and it's story info, and while the developers are thinking, oh, this might build up hype around the game, it's getting people invested in the lore of the game, it's gonna cause backlash because people are gonna know a great portion of the story, or there's gonna be a good chunk of the story that people are already gonna know. And because of people already knowing this big chunk of the story, people are gonna be more inclined to be like, oh, this story isn't really anything surprising or anything like that. There isn't any kind of surprise to keep people going, any kind of shock factor to keep people going, because we kind of already know how the game is gonna end, especially since we know Hajime Tabata, he's a guy that likes to kill everybody at the end of the game. Everybody will be happy-go-lucky, and then bam, they all get their heads chopped off or something. On top of that, a lot of YouTube channels are covering the story news, and this isn't anything bad. I think it's kind of good in a way, and it's kind of bad. It's a double-edged sword. Channels like my boy Ali. Check out my boy Ali. His link will be down in the description, because I like to show the love to my boys all the time. He's talked a lot about the story, and if you've seen a lot of his videos, you're gonna know a lot about the story. And because of this, people are gonna know that, hey, this happens to Noctis at this part of the game. Oh my god, I already know what's gonna happen here. And it's just like, why does it matter that I got to this point? I need to get to the next point. And that can also cause a great deal of curiosity, in the sense that people are going to want to know the next part of the game. But if they already know, what happened here and what happened here, and everything in between is just kind of, fill in the blanks, what's the point in playing the story? Alright, the next portion of this video, not part 2, but point 2, is going to be, gameplay. The gameplay is, very different from a lot of the games, and 13 kind of tried to stray off a little bit. 12 kind of tried to stray off a little bit. This is more in the vein of 12 straying off, and that the game is, action based. Now, this isn't anything that, Square Enix could have handled, because originally it was supposed to be a spinoff. The game was supposed to be a spinoff, or not a main series title, not necessarily a spinoff, but it wasn't supposed to be a main series title. It was Versus 13. It was in the Fabula Nova Crystallis series, and because of this, it was just the only thing linking the game to the other one was the crystals, and it was supposed to be the complete opposite to a game such as Final Fantasy Fantasy 13, which was, you know, a heavily turn-based, time-based game, whereas this game is, you know, heavily action-based, heavily relying on your reactions rather than, you know, strategic thought. And even though you can use strategic thought through, you know, wait mode, which is, you know, basically them trying to, you know, say, if you don't want to do all this action-based stuff, is you can go ahead and use wait mode, and, you know, it can make stuff easier for you if you're not ready for, you know, the fast-paced action of the game. But then again, you could say this helps the turn-based argument, saying that, oh, they haven't completely strayed from the roots. Now, one thing I will say is, you know, the wait mode is kind of pandering, you know, towards that. You know, it's pandering towards the older people. Now, it's not a bad thing. It's not, you know, complete pandering, but I feel like it was kind of pandering in the sense that they were like, oh, you like turn-based? We kind of just shoehorned this in here at the last at one of the last moments. That's what it kind of felt like. It felt like it was shoehorned in there rather than them thinking, oh, we could have implemented this in, you know, a much more in-depth way, you know, something similar to Dissidia. But, you know, Dissidia's, you know, turn-based mode wasn't really all the best, or turn-based, you know, kind of functionality wasn't the best. But, you know, let's go back to the action-based side of things. You know, a lot of people say, on the other hand, like, the gaming industry is moving towards everything being action-based, and Square Enix is just trying to pander to the newer audience, which is completely true. You know, you could say that. You know, you could say, oh my god, you know, they're just pandering to this audience so more people will buy the game, rather than trying to, you know, satisfy, you know, the audience that is already there for the series and for the game, which, you know, on both sides is completely true. But I feel either way, people will be torn by the gameplay, especially people who are fans of the old turn-based games, because of nostalgia. Like I said, the nostalgia created wait mode, which, you know, people could say is pandering, but at the same time, the people who had the nostalgia, you know, didn't want the action-based gameplay, are really gonna hate 15, and they already kind of are. They're like, oh my god, I think it's so stupid, it's so dumb that the game is action-based. Why does it have to be action-based? Why can't it be turn-based? Final Fantasy has always been turn-based. Even with 12, it was turn-based, it wasn't action-based. This is what people are saying about the game right now, and I feel like this is about to be amplified times 100 once the game drops. All right, our last little bit of this video is going to be focused on, you know, the delays. Now, not specifically delays, but the delay as a whole, you know, from September especially to November, and any delays before that have really, you know, built this game's hype train up. The last one actually kind of tore it down a little bit, and it actually has some people like questioning whether or not, you know, this game is actually going to be good. Now, I thought it was a good thing they delayed the game from what we saw before. You know, they showed us the master gameplay and they showed us gameplay now. It is looking amazing, but, you know, a lot of people are questioning, you know, which is reasonable, why is the game getting a delay so late in the you know, down the line. You know, a lot of people are like, why are you needing to fix all this stuff? Oh my god, you know, you shouldn't be having to fix all this, especially when we saw the master gameplay, or right before we saw the master gameplay, we saw a lot of glitches happening within the game, especially, you know, things pertaining to things such as the Amazon trip, etc., etc. You know, people were like, you shouldn't have to be, you know, delaying your game like this. On top of this, you know, people have high expectations because you delayed your game so long that it should be near perfection. There should be nothing wrong with it, and if people find even the slightest thing wrong with it, if they find one glitch, oh my god, this game is glitchy as a mug, because that shouldn't exist in people's mind if, you know, you have a game being developed over the course of 10 years. And this kind of annoys me because, you know, people aren't perfect, and, you know, you can't expect this game to be 100% perfect. But I can also understand why we've been waiting so long for this game. It should, you know, meet the standards of a game being developed over 10 years. It should have some pretty high standards. It should be better than every yearly Call of Duty release. It should be better than every Battlefield release. It should be better than every game that comes out this year because of this. You know, another game that is gonna probably suffer from this is The Last Guardian. The Last Guardian isn't gonna have an excuse because it's been delayed. You know, we've been waiting on this game for so long. We got an announcement about the game, you know, around the same time as Final Fantasy 15. You know, these games are going to be subjected to, you know, the ridicule of high expectations, because people are going to expect it to be the best game on the planet. whether or not the gameplay is solid or not. Oh my god, if one thing about that gameplay is not perfect, I'm going to hate it. That is how people are thinking. They're thinking if this game is not, you know, the example of perfection in the gaming industry, it's gonna be it's trash. That's how they're thinking. They're thinking if it's not perfect, it's trash. There's no in between. We've seen this with a lot of games, and I believe that, you know, this Final Fantasy 15 is going to be subjected to this, and I don't think it's fair, but I know it's going to happen. Well, guys, did you enjoy this video? You know, I put a lot more effort into this video than a lot of my other videos. Thank you for watching this. Make sure you check out my boy Ali. His channel is down in the description. You know, I decided to make this because I've been lurking on Ali's channel for a minute. You know, I haven't been commenting or anything, but I've just been lurking. I've been watching his videos and stuff, but make sure you go check out my boy Ali's channel. This has been your man Shadicstick. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, and I'm out. Have a good one. Kiss, kiss. Peace.
This time we'll have to join forces.